Welcome to session 2 of day 1. Read the label. Now, whenever you go to the supermarket, you pick up something, and apart from reading what exactly it is, whether it is a chip, it is a soya stick or anything else, you also tend to read the labels. Now, gone are the days when we used to simply pick them up and not paying much attention to the label behind it. But these days, we have become more conscious about what we are buying, so we'd like to read what is written there. But just by reading, is that enough? Do we really understand what the labels mean? So here is the session where we'll talk about how you can actually read the label and what you can make out of it. So here as an example, we have taken this particular tomato ketchup. We don't want to name any particular brand here, but then just like that we have taken and we will read the label for you.
And ketchup is the most commonly used packaged food that you can see in every home, right? So what does this contain? It contains water, tomato paste, that is 29%. So a tomato ketchup, it contains only 29% of tomato paste. So should we call it a tomato ketchup or 29% tomato paste ketchup?
Because you are paying money for 71% of something which is not there in the food itself.
So let us see what is the rest 71%. It includes sugar, iodized salt, acidity regulator, thickeners, spices and condiments like onion powder, garlic powder, mixed spices and preservative, and these names like INS 211, 1422. Let us look into these.
You know what, Asmita? I do not have personally any objection with onion powder, garlic powder, because they also form the kind of a thickener, right? But end of the day, they come out of the vegetables.
True.
But what are these thickeners? INS 14, because what is that element that can fill in 71% of this stuff and only 29% of tomato paste used?
So they don't have names, these thickeners. They are just numbers 1422, 415, INS. It's like something scary. It scares me all the time whenever I look into these labels.
No, why the numbers are given is because I'll tell you the reason in the next slide. Okay. So what are these additives?
Some may say they are harmless, some say they are even beneficial, some say they are allowed or permitted. But the truth is that they may be artificial, they are not natural, and the truth is they are not the food.
Let us look at these numbers one by one, and this will answer your question as to why the numbers are mentioned and why not the actual stuff. Now, talking about the INS 260. Now here INS is not name of the ship. It is name of a particular additive or a preservative that is given by this international numbering system of food additives, that is INS. Okay. Now this acidity regulator INS 260 is also known as acetic acid, and vinegar, just commonly known as because the acetic acid is a major element in the forming of vinegar, and it is also known as ethanoic acid. It could be synthetically produced using methanol carbonylation. Acetic acid is strongly corrosive, so you can imagine what happens if it goes into the body, although in limited or permissible limit as they call it as. It can cause serious burns and it is an eye irritant. All this information we researched a lot, and most of the pro additives websites, they say that they do not harm the body. That means what? They are in such a permissible level that they do not harm the body. But end of the day, it does not constitute the food.
So it's not natural. It's an artificial thing that is going in. And the second one is INS 415 xanthan gum, a stabilizer thickening agent. It's a popular additive for thickening, suspending and stabilizing that comes from sugar. The sugar can come from any source like wheat, corn, soy or dairy, and many people could be allergic to those things. But they say that it's safe up to 15 grams per day if taken in that limit. But then there are also chances of flu-like symptoms, nose and throat irritation and lung problems if they are taken in excess.
Not only they are taken in excess, just think of the people who work with this, in the factories.
Yeah.
So would you be happy in consuming something which is made by the people who are not actually very happy making it for you, because they themselves suffer with lot of allergies because their body does not like working over there. The third one is E1422. Just try and pronounce that.
Acetylated distarch adipate. Oh my god. It's so difficult to pronounce.
Probably that is the reason why they don't put, not only because it is long, but it is very difficult to pronounce, and then people will be even more scared to consume something like this. So it is safer for them to put E1422.
It's like some agent.
So basically it's a stabilizer, it's a thickening agent. They call it as thickening agent in the packet. So although it has not been determined that what is the quantity that a human being can consume it and be safe. So that means there's a gray area. Now one good thing is that it is said that it is not harmful, but then it is also said that there is no proof that how much quantity if you take it will be harmful. Okay, and these can be prepared by physically, enzymatically or chemically treating the native starch, so much so that you can even bleach the acetic acid, which is one of the choices, and that is also dangerous for asthmatic patients. Just imagine that the children who have the wheezing problem, and if they have it in slightly large quantity, as she was saying that the tomato ketchup is used for literally everything. If you want the child to have a chapati, and if naturally the child does not want to have it with a curry or vegetable or something like that, the first choice would be tomato ketchup, right? So the tomato ketchup for chapati, tomato ketchup for dosa, ketchup for even plain rice also, no noodles. So the ketchup consumption keeps on increasing day by day. It is an irritant, this particular chemical, it's an irritant, and that can have a low level of toxicity also. It has to be used with caution, and it can also cause the diarrhea. Now when everything is fine, and suddenly the children will have a diarrhea issue, and you blame it on the water, okay, without knowing that what is wrong with the ketchup. She just had the ketchup and that's all, and you will not readily suspect it because one of the elements in this could have caused the diarrhea in the child, and it is out of our suspicion. Babies should never be given the soy products, because the soy products have 1422 in a slightly larger quantity.
Then comes INS-211 preservative. It's also known as sodium benzoate. It's an artificially made food additive that is obtained by combining benzoic acid and sodium hydroxide. They are strictly prohibited for infants. When they are combined with vitamin C, they form benzene. Benzene is carcinogen that can cause cancer. So when they also, Vinayak, when they say that there is a limit of these things in these food, packaged food, it also means that the very fact they are limiting, they are putting that limit, shows that these are not natural, right?
They could be dangerous also. You are right, because the very word limit is limited so that it is not dangerous for you. So if it is dangerous, then why to have even in limits also? You can have in abundance something which is really good for you, right?
True.
Now reading all these labels will also not really suffice, because also knowing that they are really not that good for our health. At the end of the day, we have to live with it. Out of our lethargy, you can say, out of our own laziness and many other reasons. But then end of the day, when you see the food, this may cost about 130 rupees, and when you make the tomato ketchup at home, which we are going to show you the recipe for, it could be a little more expensive than that, but then it cannot be more expensive than your health. And that's the end of the day, the crux of this entire course that we are presenting it to you, is that it always pays to cook at home, to make the stuff at home, although it takes a little bit of more effort from your side, and we are going to make it definitely easy for you in terms of process, in terms of time, in terms of thinking towards it and changing the mindset towards that.
Very true.
That brings us to the end of this session. We'll see you on the other side.
Bye.